All right, welcome back to Destry Way, the channel to expand your knowledge and grow your hope. This is Monkey, my buddy. Hurt his hand this week. It was hard on him. Oh, but he's with us all the way, man. So he's so got our back. Guys, it was a great week. I can't wait to go over everything we've done. Really going hard at this thing. Like I said at the beginning, man, when you got nothing better to do, you can get things done. So let's get on with this. Starting out, um, the real point of this thing is to show how we can use this technology that's developed to us to change our lives, but also starting from the lowest possible point and being homeless and starting from that aspect and that point of view is definitely difficult. Creates some interesting challenges. But I kind of want to give you a little background as we go on this thing, so you kind of know who I am a little more, because I think it's crucial. As we develop this, we'll also go more and more and get to know kind of the background, the way things happen, and how I've dealt with the different situations. This is a tough one. People often ask me, why do you stay so positive, or how are you so positive? And I'll tell you, one of the big reasons was in 2022, I had this massive heart attack. Drank myself to almost death, literally. Told that in 30 years ago, death, rehabs and prisons. And yeah, I almost drank myself to death. So I ended up in the hospital with a heart attack. It was so severe that they had to put me into a coma. So I was in there for 6 months during COVID, right when it started. Basically, right after my heart attack was in February, and I guess they announced COVID right in February that year. So I was unaware of that. I didn't come out of the coma and get back into consciousness till October. So, and then it was raging, but I couldn't get out because I couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't swallow, couldn't do anything. So with that said, I've always been very active in the community. And it's always been important to me because, like I said, though the Pacific Beach is my home, I'm not homeless. I'm houseless at the moment, but not homeless. Because that is my home. It was my mother's home. It was my grandmother's home before that. I'm a legacy there. So, and it was my kids' home, and now it's my grandkids' home. So we're 5 freaking generations deep at 92109, baby, which is awesome, man. Yeah, used to be locals only, but that thing changed. You see Dogtown back there, right? Yeah, that was Santa Monica, those fools up there. Anyway, love, 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 love. So, using, what I was saying is, I was always active in my community from the very beginning. When they shut the libraries down for the kids in the elementary schools due to budget cuts, 2010, I started a recycling charity. Went to the state of California, convinced them that we're going to teach kids about how to recycle. Well, let me back up. This is what happened. This is kind of an interesting story, and maybe something to use for the future. California, in their infinite wisdom, had a budget shortfall, and so what do they naturally do? And they had for years, and they probably still do. I haven't been involved since my kids were out of school, but they always cut the education budget. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden they're cutting teachers. And in this situation in 2010, they cut libraries. My daughter come home and said, Dad, I got to go to the public library to get this book. Can I get a ride? I go, what do you mean? Why don't you get it at school? So she's telling me, they closed the libraries at school. They can't afford the librarian due to budget cuts, so she's the one that got cut. That is so ridiculous. So I had this crazy idea. Let's start a charity. And what we'll do is, and because I was working in the recycling and the energy, the green things that were going on, the green energy, the Green New Deal, as you will. And I knew there was a crap load of money earmarked for education of kids about recycling and green energy and, all these programs that California was really high on. Let's shove down the throats of everybody. So anyway, and still are. And I drift back and forth a little bit, but bear with me because I will say this. When I was a little kid, San Diego's water was brown. There was oil on the sand. So some of the stuff, long story short, has done good. The beaches are more beautiful than they ever were before. At the same time, it's gotten crazy, and I diverse. But going back to the point, I knew that money was there because I've been researching it, and was going to use it to actually start a solar panel business at the time. The solar panels were just kicking in, man. That was right when it started. I always kick myself because I would have done that, probably been a millionaire by now, and I'm done with this thing. But I missed that boat. So anyway, we started the charity there in Pacific Beach, and it went really well. I did a good thing for my neighbors, but so it got me involved in civics and my community as far as the level of wanting to contribute, wanting to be concerned about the things that were happening here in my town. And I live in a real small world. Anything east of 5 to us, where I come from, and us locals here in PB and Mission Beach that's Claremont Mesa, that's Bayho, that's Tierra Sand. That's not us. I don't even go up there, man. That's like the other side of the tracks, if you will, the other side of the freeway. Don't go into those underramps. There's homeless people down there. Those are the weird homeless ones, the druggies. Anyway, I've digressed again. So I lived in a small community, and to me, it was important to get involved in it. My kids were there, and like I said, I've been a legacy, so I was always involved. So when I became homeless, it also, and when I was in the hospital, trying to learn some things, I started getting involved with homeless advocacy because I'd been there. I've been in a coma. I'm getting sober. I'm still learning to walk. It took about 3 months. I didn't get out until December of the hospital. Because I had to learn to walk and swallow and all that. So in the meantime, I was doing some research. So I called a friend of mine at Channel 10 News, and they came down and they did a story on the homeless situation that was being done, or the homeless situation that was facing. There we go. So anyway, this is the article that they wrote. I can't show it to you. I was looking at the test, and you guys can't see this. In the long run, this is still raw, and please bear with me. Oh, forget, real quick interrupt. Please like, subscribe, and comment. The comments are super important because I want to know what you think of what we're talking about. Like and subscribe really helps me out, man, because the whole point of this thing is to try to get me off the street. And I think if I just get people to hang out with me and talk to me for a couple times a week, I get the heck out of here. But like I said, we're also doing another project that's really cool, that is more guaranteed to get you off the street than hopefully getting successful as a YouTube creator. But I think I'm pretty good at YouTube I'm going to be good at YouTube creation. I'm not shy. I've got great big ideas. I don't think small. Trust me, this isn't a small fry thing. But what's bitching about it is because I've got a number of employees that I need right here in my hand, AI gives me all that. I'm going to become, when we go sponsor on this stuff and I start getting paid to do this, because I come from a marketing background, I'm going to go to the AI producers, Google and these guys, and Gronk, Musk and these guys, say, look, I'm your dream. The world's scared of AI. It's freaking them out. And I was just watching something 30 minutes ago about the world is freaking out on AI. It's going to take jobs, destroy the world. I think they're in their mind, they're going to Terminator, right? That's what I see happening. But it's not. And I'm the dumbest computer. Dude, I'm serious when I tell you, I cannot do Windows. I can't do an Excel spreadsheet to save my ass. And when it comes to putting stuff on this computer here, like I do these videos and I try to save them, I lost them. Oh, the video I did already, see, I didn't even tell you guys that. This is the second video I did today. This one that I'm doing right now, I already did, but I forgot to turn the sound on. So the whole video, I'm talking like this, and I'm thinking it's all great, and I post it and everything. There's no sound. It's like, oh. It was okay, because I didn't like some of that video anyway. It was kind of, I'm still getting the feeling, you know what I mean? So anyway, they wrote this article about it, and basically the article was about me. And it says, Destry Whitney has been through a lot to be in a better place than where he once was. He told ABC 10 News following a heart attack that left him unable to work that he lost his home in Pacific Beach. Whitney then became homeless, but the pages in his story have turned for the better. Got into a hotel program during COVID, which is a huge help. Transitional housing, a very important step in the process. I want you to understand that right there, because what they used to do and what I was coming into, thank God, I'm one of those weird dudes. I'm saying thank God for COVID. It didn't kill me, it saved my life. I had that heart attack. I was coming out of the hospital. I'm on a walker. I am unable to eat for the most part. Um, my feet hurt so bad from walking. I screamed in the middle of the night because it's harsh. Man, I'll tell you, that coma was worse than a heart attack, most likely. Or I felt on the aftermath of it. They were going to discharge me to the street, send me on back to my way, and let me go sleep on the concrete next to my walker. Didn't have Monkey yet, so at least then I wouldn't have had him to deal with. But really? I mean, really? That is so cool. I mean, if you really don't want to help, fucking shoot me. You know? Poison, get rid of me. But do it quickly. Please, for God's sake, don't take me in my walker and stick me on a bus stop. My friend Amy used to freak out. She's a friend of mine. I knew her all the way since high school. I was friends with her and her husband way back in the 80s. And bottom line is, man, she used to call me and say, man, these people are just being kicked to the curb. I'm like, nah, they can't do that. They're not allowed, because they're not. They're technically not. It's so illegal. It's ridiculous. But what's the socioeconomic poverty level person going to do? Go hire a lawyer for $5,000 to go pursue this? No, you're screwed. You're sitting on the park bench sleeping. People driving by looking at you like you're horrible. So anyway, thank God for COVID. As I got out, Amy came and told me, hey, I got you a hotel, because they're taking all the homeless people off the street and putting them in these hotels. Thank God. I'm still in the hotel. 3 years later, these COVID funds Biden put out, man, they lasted, but guess what? It's all dried up. This is going. I'm going to be back on the sand literally again. I'm hoping not to. I've got, like I said, I am from here, so I've got some potential options, at least roommates or places to stay for a minute till we get our books selling. And remember, YouTube is bitching. I'm going to use it to talk to you guys and kind of share the experience and the ride that we have in building this book program and this entertainment system for the modern times. I've always been a let's do it kind of guy, but like I said, for computers, I was just never really into it. I always hired people to do those kind of things for me. CEO was great. They weren't, and back in the day, they weren't that expensive compared to traditional advertising at that point. So, but this allows me to do all that. So with the AI, I'm going to be able to do all of the stuff myself. Where are we at here? Sorry, I lost my place there. Building the book. So yeah, the real goal is to build the books, but coming back to it, the first group that they have on the street, and that's kind of what we're talking about real quick here, is the street situation, because I think we can solve it. But you got to look at the real truth of it, because they don't tell you the real truth. You don't see anything close to the realities when you're at home. Remember when I said, I thought not paying rent, taking my Social Security, sticking it in my pocket, that's about $1,000, and just eating and drinking on that, sleep on the sand and sit on the beach, because when I was paying rent, I was sitting on the beach all day anyway, because I was basically retired and drunk. So, yeah. So I was sitting there anyway. So to me, there was no difference. I'll just get drunk, go sleep on the sand, than paying this guy the whole bunch of money I had, and then trying to handle life after that. So, and a lot of people go that way. They're the elderly, man, and a lot of us are that way. They're just, we go to the street because we're house poor. You either be house poor, or you eat, and you go to a movie and get a cell phone and work on a computer and do that kind of stuff, and just stay on the beach. So yeah, I was anyway. So getting this thing rolling. I want to kind of, sorry, I had a brain fart right there. God, I hate when that happens. It's the age and it's the alcohol, and it definitely had some negative effects. But anyway, as we're getting this thing going, thinking big, okay? Taking the homeless thing, let's set that aside for a minute. Like I showed you, I've been actively homeless in this advocacy for a while. Oh, and it's this place. So anyway, they're kicking us out of here. So I'll be back in the street. They're saying January, but we're going to fight it and stuff, see how long. Because I have a lot of legal experience and a lot of legal friends, people that are lawyers that I used to work with as a legal referral service that I own. I'm hoping to get some help because from what I understand, we could probably postpone this thing for about a year, which would be nice. You got to keep your power on, which is tough. But hey, this is better than going outside directly and living out there. So, and, 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 and that's, know that we can do this because we're determined. Keep our attitude. Something that no matter what happens, we've got to stay positive. We got to keep moving forward, keep stepping up. Don't give up and jump. I actually was getting scared this week. I was sitting there yesterday just, oh my God, I got nothing to say. No one's going to want, people don't listen to this. I only got like 3 clicks, and all of a sudden I got 12 clicks. Oh, dude, that totally remotivated me. I got 12 clicks. But I've been starting to call my friends, things like that, and get them involved. Say, hey, tell people, people are excited. They're excited about the program here and the other things that we have in the hopper. Like I said, never think small. That's not my nature. As a younger man, no, it was always think big, go big, live what is it? Earn local, think, or live local, think global, something like that. We always had those great sayings in the 80s and 90s. So the homeless thing is something that we can solve, but this AI thing, and that's where I got lost in my thoughts right there. Is this AI thing is going to help solve things. It really is. It's not. It shouldn't scare you. And follow me. I'm not going to teach you AI because I don't even know it. But I'm going to stumble through it with you and tell you what I've done to working with it, and then kind of show you the results of what it does. Because the results of what it does are going to be what you see come out the other end. The point that I came up with, and here's how it starts. Now let's go into the business side of this thing and what we're actually doing. And like I said, I'm not going to teach you. I'm just going to show you how simple it was that even a guy that's got, as long as this stuff's charged, I can work. Keeping a charge on the street, that's definitely a challenge for these guys. But that's where I might have some other solutions. But we'll talk about that as we go. But let's get on to starting this thing up, what we did this week, and what we're going to need to do next week during the next week. One thing, a couple setbacks that I've learned. Number one, like I said, not a computer guy. I went out and took some really bitchin' video out on the street in PV. Got some bitchin' surf shots of my buddies ripping it up still. Believe it or not, some of us can still rip. On my channel, there's actually one shot of me for about 2 minutes ripping in my old age. Anyway, excuse me. Yeah, what we do and how simple this is. So number one, got to have an idea. So with AI, my idea is going to be to create what I'm going to call Be Best Media Entertainment Company. Be Best Me Media, BBMN. Kind of got the idea a little bit from Ivanka Trump, and you'll see later the method of my madness here. And one thing I want to say right off, I am not politically in any way interested in any crap. I don't do politics, man. I'm 61 years old. I'll tell you what, no matter who ever been in that damn White House, never changed my day one fucking bit. Seriously, not one. No matter what I did, I had a job, I got up and did my stuff, I made my money, paid my rent, lived fine. No problems. That's all I want. Live fine. Leave me the hell alone. I don't want to be in politics. Don't want to pick it or do any of this craziness that's going on. So please don't ever get that confused. As an old dude, I might say some stuff that if kids are watching this, younger generations, I'm not trying to upset anybody. If anything, I'm ignorant to a lot of it. Like Bill Maher says, I can't keep up, man. I need like a 90-day notice when you guys switch up on the English language. I'm not keeping up. But anyway, so with that said, because I brought up Melania Trump, there's a method to that madness. She's running just real quick. She's running a Be Best Me program, and I think in my marketing and looking, I jump ahead, but I'm still here. If I get this thing rolling properly and get a hold of her and start putting these books, because these are books that are for kids 2 years old on up to 7 years old, into preschools, and they're books that are based on, I don't want to say Bible stories because it's not. It's more like common good things. You know what I mean? Being honest, not stealing, loving your family, learning your family traditions, loving your home, traveling the world, knowing more, diversity, things that, and not the diversity in a weird way that we're just all diverse, man. The diversity of the world is bitching. That's what makes it special. The word diversity is like snowflakes. I look at people as snowflakes. We're all different. We're diverse. That's bitching. If we're all the same, it sure would be boring. Don't you remember those Apple ads in the 80s where they're all standing there the same? Yeah. No, not for me, man. I like variants. I like color. Pop. Make it pop. Make yourself pop. I once had a secretary, man. I was starting to lose the hair. That was when I first started losing the hair. I was like 36 years old, 30 years ago. And I was bitching about it. She said, dude, it doesn't matter. I go, what do you mean? She goes, you just got to rock it. No matter what it is, rock it. Okay, half-ass hair, I'm rocking it, dude. I had to throw glasses on. I can't see for crap anymore. I tried doing this without glasses, but I couldn't even see myself, and that bugs me. Because I always talk in the mirror. When you do your, I learned that in college in debate. They said always do your debate or always do your speech in front of the mirror before you go out. So I do, and this to me is just I'm redoing what I've already done, and now today because of the mess up on the sound thing, this is the third time I've done it. So take 3. Cool, huh? Anyway, so I decided we're going to do the BVS Me Media, like I said, talking about Ivanka Trump. But and my subscript on that is what Disney used to be, because in my mind, as a simpleton grandpa, my life is simplified, and Disney was simple. And grandpa and little kids can understand each other because we're both in our simple stages of our lives. I look at myself as I'm going downhill. I mean, you start out shitting your pants, you end up shitting your pants. Those are the two extremes, right? First and last. But it's real. So don't fight it. Don't fight it. The poor kids in the middle, man, you're struggling, man. You got ladders to climb and success and mountains to get knocked off and lessons to learn and things to conquer and nails to hammer. And yeah, you got a lot going on in that age group from freaking 18 on up to about, I'd say 50. You start relaxing a little bit. You find your spot, hopefully, And we all have a spot. We all have a role. Some of us fight those roles our whole lives. We don't want them. That was me. I've fought this my whole life. I knew I was going to be out here. It was in dreams when I was a little boy. So here I am. Anyway, with that said, I went into AI and I went ChatGPT. Super easy. Just go on YouTube. I'm going to tell you how to do it, but not, like I said, I'm learning too. So everything we're doing is new to me. So I went on I just go to my Google. Say I need ChatGPT. Boom, it was there. Downloaded it. It's right there. It is freaking amazing. It looks like a search bar at first, but it's not. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can type in the information, and if when I'm on my desktop here or laptop, I'll type it in. And that's only because specifically on certain things that you're doing, you do need to be super specific, because it does do some weird stuff if you don't, it's like anything. I say AI is great if you already had management experience, because when you hire somebody and you bring them in, they always say hiring is the most expensive thing because you got all that training time. They're not useful. They're a pain in the ass. They're taking your time and they're not producing anything on that time. So it's double whammy on the business. But you have to do it. Otherwise, they're never going to get the results you want of them, and it's going to be a waste of even hiring them. So AI is the same exact way. You've got to give it the instructions right down to the way you want them done, and then let it execute, and then correct its execution. So it's gonna execute from how well it executes, just like an employee, is how well you you communicate with it. The communications are what's called prompts. And I've learned some of these things, like I said, along the way. Before I started this in January, I spent 30 days watching YouTube videos up the butt all day, all night. Figure out, at least get started. So, and it's literally, I'm getting started. It'd be great if I knew how to use a computer, but I don't. And the bitching thing about that is this AI thing doesn't even need you to know how. It can write code for me. I'll show you. It wrote, well, I can't. I tried, like I said, I tried taking my thing and doing this. You can't really see that. You can kind of, but you sure as heck ain't going to read nothing off of it. You know what I mean? So I won't do that. There's some software available, and we're going to put that together, and then I'll be able to do that. Let me explain a couple things too real quick. There's some cost to this thing. Now we'll go over this because, wait, hold on. See, I'm bouncing. Okay, back to reality real quick. I went to the AI. I typed in exact what I wanted to do. I basically said, okay, here's my idea. And literally I said, my idea is this. I want to start a media company that will compare to classic Disney morals and values and create family-oriented, children-oriented content in all forms of e-commerce and e-media and YouTube and cartoons online and things of that nature. Boom. Hit go. Wham. An entire business plan of what I need to do to make that happen. All you got to do is then you ask it. Then I went in and asked it, okay, give me a path. What path, step-by-step path. You got to be real, like I said, the employee's only as good as the information you teach it. So I got to tell them, now what I need you to do is put a task-by-task, step-by-step, numbered system that I can follow as if I'm a junior high kid doing this. Tell it what level you want it at, because it'll give it to you that way. You know, if you say, oh, I'm a college degree master PhD, and I need it in that kind of information, guess what? If you're not that, you're not even going to be able to read that crap, because they're going to give you PhD level stuff, and you're going to be like, whoa, yeah, real. You tell her you're in 8th grade, or give me a kindergarten level. That's what I'm doing with the computer, like how to turn the audio on. You know, from last week when I did the video, I totally forgot how to turn the damn camera on. That's where the audio problem came later. But first I had to go to AI, and I said, how do you turn the camera on my HB again? So, you know, it's very helpful that way. But I'm very forgetful, and that's just part of my life. It's fine. So anyway, that's how we started Be Best Media. Now, the first thing it wanted me to do is create my characters. What am I going to do? My first project, my second project, things like that. So my main project on Be Best Media, and the primary reason that I thought of even created, number one, you got to copyright everything you do, and I need to do it through that. So, and I know that because, like I said, I'm not completely lost in the world of business. And if you are, and you need to know, just ask, hey, how do I protect myself? And AI will give you a detail, who to contact, everything you ask for. How do I protect myself? Who would you recommend I contact in my area of Miami, wherever you're at? Oh, it'll give it to you. It's incredible. It's like having all these different aspects of employees that I used to hire and train and then had to bring in and replace right at your fingertips. And these employees don't have a master's degree, don't have a PhD. They've got a universal eye on everything that's ever been written, recorded, audio, videoed, anything, everything. Anything, it's got everything. You don't even want to really know. I mean, seriously, that's what people should be kind of scared, but don't worry about it. Things are going to change. They're changing. They've changed. So anyway, excuse me, So anyway, that's what it said. So the next thing it said is, like I said, build my characters. So what I've done is I started to build my characters. Now, as I did so, now you run into a couple problems this week. And let's look at that real quick. First of all, I'm running this as I'm host. Now, right now, I'm blessed because, yeah, I'm in this hotel for another month or two at least. But that's cool. That helps. If you were on the street, let's say you're on the street. You sleep on the park bench. All you need is a backpack with your laptop, Hopefully you got a cell phone, which is an Obama phone. You grab one of those and you keep them charged. Now, where are you going to keep them charged at? That's going to be your biggest potential issue, but based on what your time commitment to this project are going to be, you should be able, just with the library hours alone, even the cut library hours that are currently on, you should be able to have enough time to charge your stuff. And that's part of your commitment to getting yourself off the street or your daily program going. Remember, besides the homeless people, this can help because they're going to be creators. I guarantee you, I'll find half the people I talk to will be hyper good creators. Because believe it or not, when you're sitting around the street, we didn't, like I said, we were never the let's be sad people. We were on drugs. Some of us were drinking, but drinking kind of makes you a little more jolly, and we were always jolly. We were singing along. You know, we had live karaoke on the beach. We were always singing the songs. Bye Bye Miss American Pie is a classic. Anyway, my friends that know this, see this will know exactly what I'm talking about. But laughing and having a good time is important when you're out there in that situation. So it wanted the characters. So what I decided to do was I went ahead and started to create my cast of characters. Mine's going to be an animated book series. And like I said, as we go through this more, I'm going to give you and share with you other ideas and things that you can do on top different than me. But let's think big. It's endless. You could use AI to create websites that are selling things that you don't even have. But they're connected to somebody that has it. And because you get them connected, you make a commission. It's crazy. Like I said, when I start sponsoring this thing, I'm going to have like Google sponsor or something because I'm showing you guys how simple AI is. I'm going to help their whole program get better and less frightful because it's not frightful. It's really cool. Based on what I've used of it so far and whatever. I hate to say it, but no reason to be afraid of this stuff. So anyway, first characters I started to develop were Jay and Gray. They're going to be called The Adventures of Jay and Gray. These are going to be a cartoon series of books with different moral compasses. Everything is about family, about loving, about caring, about traditions, about country, about being a better human being in general. Not from a religious or moralistic point of view, from just a common sense. Grandpa taught me not to steal. Mom taught me to be honest, to not lie. Dad taught me to be enduring and keep going when times get hard. These are things that I want to pass on to my grandchildren. And lessons that I think have been totally forgot, in this crazy modern world. They're going to be books. They're going to be printed in paperback, primarily sold mostly probably through ebook catalogs. And then we're going to do read-along books as well for moms and dads who don't have the time. They just hit a button, let the kid fall asleep as the book reads to him or her. That's kind of sad. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do now. Looking at it, and this is more AI marketing, is asking AI, what do you think? The average book out there is running about $4 to $5 for a kid. These are nice size. What is probably let's say 8 by 10, something about yay size. A normal kid's book, not quite as big as an 8.5 by 11. That's like a little baby book, and that you got to have a lot. That's going to take a lot of art and stuff to fill that in. Yeah, about 8 by 10 book. I like the hard copies though, because I think someday one of my crazy thoughts was someday people are going to be sick of looking at screens. And they're going to want to go back to the traditional book. You know what I mean? Someday somebody might want to pick up a newspaper again. Get that ink on your hands. We don't have that. We don't do that anymore. It's weird. You just don't. It just went away. One day there was no newspaper to read. Unless you go to jail. Now, if you go to jail right now, you can get newspapers. That's where they deliver. That's where they all go. I'm kidding. So anyway, so if you're just getting started, your charging shouldn't be a problem, even if you're homeless on the street, because you got library time. Okay, getting the equipment. Somebody says to me, "Oh, how are you supposed to get equipment?" You know what? This thing I'm talking to you on right now, if you can see it, which you can't, this whole front pad is burnt. Somebody, I don't know who. It looks like they put a freaking like their iron fell over right here on the front, right before the keypad. And it's just melted away. Looks like shit, but hey, look, it's running, it's working. Has little problems with the mouse once in a while, but it's working. You know where it was found? In a trash can. Because on the streets, if you know what you're doing, all you got to do is ask. Tell someone what you need. You can say, I need a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. Guarantee you some junkie's going to go out and bring you back a pair of exact Ray-Ban sunglasses you asked for within 2 days, and you'll pay him $15 for a $300 pair of glasses. All day long. All day long. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I didn't create this shit. It's there, and this is what we got to do to climb. So I got this from a dude. I put the word out. I need a laptop. It doesn't have to be modern or bitching. This thing actually is really modern and bitching. It's just the melted part, which is probably not even worth fixing because these things have gotten so inexpensive. It's ridiculous. This thing is free. It came with my phone. So I was stoked to get that. That was just extra. And that's actually where I started doing all the research before I got this. So anyway, so don't complain about the equipment. You don't have to have great equipment. I do need to know on comments how this sounds and looks because I don't know necessarily what your input is, or I want your input. It's hugely important to the overall project. But okay, so also on top of the book program, we're gonna do series real quick. We determined that we're going to do series on the book. So, we'll have 5 or 6 book stories, kids' stories in each series. So there'll be like Family Traditions is a series. Honesty, Integrity is another series. I've already made up 6 whole series. I've got at least 40 books written right now because the way you write them is not that complicated with AI. Basically, and I do it all myself because I'm going to copyright this stuff. This is mine. This is my interaction with my grandkids. So I'm going to copyright it. And the way I'm going to do that, and use AI as my assistant. It's mostly my research assistant. It's my graphic artist, though. Okay, so I also turned it into a graphic artist. What I do is I took a picture, and you take a basic picture, any old picture you want, and you can stick it into AI. This works. So I took this picture, and I downloaded it into the AI. And then I told the AI, I said, AI, turn that picture into, and I gave it, you have to give it exact. I want Jasper with the blonde hair is his oldest brother, blah, 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 all the way down. And then turn it into an anime. And you can pick your type of anime. It can be Muppets or Pixar's. I like Pixar. So I'm with Pixar. I like the 3-dimensional look to it. So all my stuff, because there's also going to be a cartoon series that follows this. See, I'm always thinking big, always thinking to the next. So if you're thinking of the next when you're doing this one, it's going to be prepared. So when you get there, you slide right into it. Got to do that. It's important. So anyway, yeah. And then I just hit send. And then what it does, boom, it comes back with that. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Lost it on you. It comes back with that. You can see that a little bit, but not too great. And that's my cartoon. And you can see me too. I drew myself in there in the picture. So then you can take that and put it on, and he'll AI is able to do any scene you tell it to do, and that's how I do it. Now you can also just put the picture. You don't even have to put pictures in. You can just say I want a 2-year-old boy, and it'll make it all up for you. And you tell it to write a story about love. 10-page story of love with a happy ending and a good moral, and it'll do it. But to me, I don't think humans are going to dig that because you're going to catch on. You do. It sounds made up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. If you've lived in this world any kind of time at all, it just doesn't feel right. Let's put it that way. So what I did was I went in and I put my picture. So number one, I copyrighted those images. They're mine. Those are my grandchildren created today by AI. And I took, and AI gave me, shoot, I don't want to find that all. I probably couldn't see it anyway. Let's see. AI gave me, well, maybe I did. Let me see. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I think, hold on. Let me do this because this will help. What I did was, so I can lock those things in, keep them. Okay. Yeah. So I can lock them in. They gave me the coding. Let me see here. See, there I told it exactly who I wanted. There's grandpa, there's me. I'm an elderly male, gray long hair, sunglasses. These are what's called fixes. So they basically are guardrails where everything has to come in after that. The cool thing is as they're helping me do that, they started to give me the codes. So there's the codes. So now when I do this, there's my grandkids' codes and my code. So every time, whoops, sorry. So these are the codes that they actually give you. So you just go up here, copy code. Every time I do a cartoon book, that code goes in and my characters stay the exact same. And that's a big thing with AI. That's one of those issues that they're having with it is it changes your characters every couple of scenes. They have little changes. Like you'll start out, your kid will have blonde hair, and the next one he'll have sandy blonde hair, and the next one it's brown, and then it's long. Yeah. Totally messes up a storybook of 12 pages when you got 12 different kids all being the same kid. Kids don't get it. And neither do I. But anyway, so you have to do that. But that's what's cool about it. That does that for you. I don't know how to write code. I don't even know what code is. I had to go up on Grok and ask, hey, what's code? What's it mean? How's it work? And they gave it to me, taught me that. So everything I need to learn to do this is on there to teach me to go and do this. So it's sick. It's awesome. And it's kicking ass. This is going to be the second thing. We're going to do this. This is part of it. This YouTube channel, the Homeless Surfer, which is what I am. And I look and never think of that to me as bad. You can call me whatever you want. Trust me, I've been called everything, and I probably much deserve it. So I wouldn't even be mad at you when you call me. Number one. Number two, don't let people be telling you how to feel. Don't let anyone control how you feel. If somebody walks by me and has something to say, you can either get mad about it or pretend you didn't even hear it. I pretend I'm deaf. When I'm walking the street, and you know, especially where I live right now in this hotel, trust me, it's a rough neighborhood. When you're walking the street, you don't hear shit. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to see. Yeah, as long as it's not bothering me. So don't let people tell you how to feel. Feel the way you feel about things and stay in yourself. Remember, if you do right by you and you make you happy, you can't help but do right by others around you. So please make sure you remember those things. One more thing that we came up with, the third idea that we're going to run. Well, on the book series, real quick, hold on. In development of those books, like I said, I've written already like 50 books now, 50 kids' books. And, oh, I forgot to tell you. So my grandkids, okay, the code. God, sorry. See, I lose track of what I'm talking about sometimes. The code goes into everything I write. But I've written like 56 books now, 50 books of Jay and Gray. But then along the way, I started writing I did a cartoon character and developed with my granddaughter. I also did one of my son and daughter, did one of my ex-wife. My son and my ex-wife passed away, unfortunately. Separate incidents, but within a couple of years apart. Both were difficult for me and my daughter. So I wrote a series about guardian angels, and I made my son, her passed away brother, Dylan, the guardian angel of her. So the stories are all based on, and the cool thing is I made the anime of my daughter, who's now the mother of Jay and Gray. She's now a 30-year-old woman. I made her as a 4.5-year-old when Dylan died. You know, so she's the age that she was forever in the animation cartoon as she was when Dylan passed away. And so is he. He's 17 forever in that anime. But anyway, so we just added a couple more. Now, that's the killer, and that's one of the difficult things I'm running into. Slowly figuring out how to, like, I wrote these stories. We got the animation. Everything's done. But now I have to learn how to put them into books. You know what I mean? And I tried a couple, and then I lose them. Or you get them in there, and then they want to charge you to release them. I need them in a file, and I'm figuring it out. You have to just keep messing around online and find the right thing. And I've asked AI to help me. Some of the recommendations, they're all the same. I mean, bottom line is people online, a lot of YouTube, they're all trying to make money. Not mad at them for it, but you have to plan for it. Now, for me as a homeless guy, I'm lucky. Like I said, I get a little bit of check every month. There's going to be a couple $100 in monthly ongoing fees. ChatGPT to develop enough characters, enough monthly books. I'm going to use up a lot of freaking space. So they're going to charge you $20 a month for that, which is cool because I can write. I probably write 30 books a month. I mean, I've got this stuff's been in my head for years. It's almost relieving to get it out. All these books. And the shows, they don't take long. This takes overall each of these things with everything I do the way I do it. And like I said, hopefully the raw is working. I think we'll get better with sound and things as we need to. But right now, this is where we're at. So anyway, lost my track again. Oh, see, there's no way you're getting back. Remember, anyway, I said I wouldn't be political, so I won't go there. Yeah. So those are the characters and the products we have. Oh, this is being another one, and then we're gonna have. I told you about Konos, about maybe going in there and asking them, because one of the problems the homeless guy is gonna have is location shooting. So what I did, and we talked about this last week, was we're gonna go out and we're gonna talk to some people about. And that's all the video I got. We did that. We went out and talked. We talked to Konos. Konos said, yeah, absolutely. Luckily, like I said, I grew up here. I've been eating breakfast there with my kids and my mom and dad. Even they all know my kids. And I ate there in high school. They came out in like the 80s, early 80s. We were still in high school when they popped up. But it was burritos after surfing at the pier, right at the pier. So it was bitching. So right at the pier there in PB, I'm going to get to shoot. Konos is an indoor restaurant, morning and lunch. And it's got a deck and a deck on the water. So most people eat on the deck. If it's a rainy day, I'll be indoors. If not, I'll be able to be outdoors. It's going to be called Coffee at Konos, and it's going to enhance YouTube exposure for us. And keep in mind, YouTube exposure I'm using hopefully to sell books. I want to be a best-selling author, not a celebrity like this, man. Like I said, being Joe Rogan, everybody's always got something to say. I don't know. I have a pretty tough skin, but God, you guys take a lot of shit. And death threats. Oh, it's crazy. I hear these guys on YouTube talking about people threaten them and call them. And these are dudes that are showing you how to build a fence. You know what I mean? It's like, there's nothing they're doing that should make you want to hurt them or threaten them. They're showing you how to properly build a 4-foot fence. These guys are, yeah, they should be. Anyway. It's a crazy world we live in. Just dig it and roll on, baby. You ain't in control. Only of yourself and only in how you feel. You can't even control everything going on around you. But you control how you feel about it. So remember that part. So anyway, those are some of the issues that we face. We got Konos, kick butt there. Worst case scenario, you're able to charge the library. The library hours are going to give you enough time in the daytime, and they're the daytime hours where you can't film or really even see a screen outside. So it works out well. And you can go in the library and charge and still do work while you're working and charging at the same time, and then leave there with a full charge. It'll get you through another 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 hours. This thing's got like 8 hours of battery on it. So I'm pretty solid once it's full. And the same thing with the tablet, kind of sucks up battery more than I'd like, but it doesn't have the CPU that does have. Anyway, I don't know, computers, I'm just talking crap out my head. Anyway, so those problems have been solved. Now, like I said, the next problems that I'm working with right now is figuring out exactly, because you got to remember when you run into starting a business, the worst thing is when you start a business of anytime, you are a mark for every freaking B2B, business to business salesperson in the freaking world now. I got a guy the other day called me, I swear he's like from India or some shit. Couldn't even understand his freaking mouth. I don't know what he was talking to me, but I couldn't understand. It's frustrating because they're annoying anyway. They're like telemarketers for business. So yeah, you have to go through a lot your own research and don't talk to people that are doing what you're doing and people you respect and trust and ask them who they use for something. It's one of the couple of things we need. Number one, ChatGPT. The free version is how I started this, and that's a hook, but that's smart of them. It gets you into it, and then, now you want to really do something with this, don't you? Okay, that's going to cost you $20 a month. I think that's enough. They got another like master plan for like $100 a month, something like that. And I don't know if I'm just going to jump to that. Like I do have a monthly check, so I have some room in it to go ahead and get these things done. If I didn't, and I was on the street, I guarantee you could panhandle $100 a month or $100 in a day if you told people what you're doing. People want to help. People are not mad at the homeless. They're mad at the situation. If a homeless person brings them a solution to their situation, they're more than happy to help, especially with such little amounts. You know what I mean? 20 here, 20 there. Because like I said, ChatGPT's first next level, which is going to probably give the average guy more than enough access to all the systems that they have in chat, all the updates and all that stuff, is probably more than enough. So you panhandle that toward the middle of the month. You put it into you go put it on a debit card or whatever. You should probably go get a bank account. Might be that creates problems for the homeless people. That's a whole level of problems that get created because you're homeless. You probably don't have an ID, Social Security card. You probably can't open a bank account. Might even have bad credit, felonies, shit like that you're on your record. Yeah, blessed for me, I don't have that kind of stuff. I've always kept my ID current. It's important. But like I said, I don't hang around the crazies. Most of the dudes I hang around are veterans. You know, they're not on drugs veterans. They're just veterans that PTSD is a damaging thing. You know, they just can't fit into the world and they stay out of the world. They're good people. And like I said, it's sad because I had all these really cool interviews this week and talks and I want to do introductions so you guys get to know these cast of characters around us here in Pacific Beach are so great. You'll love them, man. You guys watch real TV and all that. Man, you like Survivor, you get into that, they're cutthroat each other. This is people that love each other from the worst possible position where you think, how can you be happy and love life when you're sitting on the street and you're eating at churches? Guess what? More so than you'll ever know. Because the worries and stresses that everyone else has to deal with every day, we don't. It's not saying that it's a lifestyle. That's the problem. It has become a lifestyle in a lot of ways. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. There should be work. But that's where this is going to help. It's going to help those guys who just can't seem to settle in for 40 hours, who don't want to interact with their fellow man, can interact with this thing and this thing and make something of yourself anyway. We're going to. And we're going to do it together. So I am really stoked. Looking forward to next week. As we go through the week, I'm going to continue to trap in every couple of days, just so you understand see the things. And what's really going to help on those chime-ins that I'm going to do in the middle of the week, that's where I want to show the video footages, more of it, the most of it. I want to use those as video footage publication, not this style here, the talking head, because those are going to show you the actual, and what it was like to, walk up to Konos. I want to show you what it's like to panhandle. If you need money and you want to actually really get this started and you don't have money to do it, I'll show you how to do it. You're going to need $100. Like I said, it's about that because there's a few things you do have to have. One of them is editing software. I'd like to improve that. Someday I'm going to have guests. I want to be able to split the screens. Have guests. I want to be able to edit. So when I have brain farts, I can just cut them out and nobody knows that I have brain farts. Yeah, it's cool to be human though, man. Like I said, the greatest day of my life was I learned to say my bad. I'm just a human. Sorry. Anyway, keep real, keep true. As we get through this week, here's what we're going to do. This week is to finish learning and mastering the software. It's just a time commitment, but by next week, I want to be able to take the books that I have, turn all 50 books into the ebooks, the flip books. That'll be the first stage. And then after I've got that mastered, I have to get a literary agent, somebody that can actually go out and has the connections to maybe, hopefully, somebody wants to do a print book. What am I trying to say here? A publisher wants to take the books, print them, and distribute them for me as something new, something tame that families might enjoy rather than some of the crazy stuff that's been out. So anyway, so that's part of this week as well. So hopefully during the course of the week, we'll be sharing what's going on video-wise, and next week we'll talk about it. I'll let you know exactly where we're at, how we've done. It's kind of like a board of directors meeting each week as we do our startup here, so everybody knows what's going on. You can always use guys' help, man. Comments are huge. Please like, subscribe, stick with us. You're going to watch something grow, and it's going to be special. And this is the beginning of it, man. We're 4 videos deep, and this is so raw. Someday I can't wait. We may never look back and laugh at it because we may look back and go, that was our style, dude. We created that. I've been there, dude. I've been there. I've been in the pools in the 70s when we were creating verts, things that you didn't even know existed yet. Not Berts. There's a difference between Berts and Verts. You don't know the difference between Berts and Verts? You ain't from Dogtown. Peace. Love y'all, man.